What's going on, guys? I am Golden Boy, and today is going to be a little bit different when it comes to commentaries. Today I'm actually going to start branching out a different kind of commentary and something that's going to be a little bit new to my channel. So with that being said, the new type of commentary coming to my channel is going to be called the Golden Hour. It's going to feature me talking about several things that are completely random to anything related to games. And I wanted to do this primarily to get the subscribers involved with my videos. So it may be hit and miss at first, but it's something new that I want to try out, and it's going to work by using the comment system and by commenting a discussion that somebody would like me to talk about. For example, a topic that somebody can throw out there is the whole Michael Bay ruining childhood movies. Then I'll talk about it in a video that I'm making, things like that. It just helps get the subscribers involved with something random that I talk about. The other reason for the Golden Hour was for me to talk about something that I wanted to just kind of throw out there or just mention because it's not really related to games, but it's just something I wanted to, throw out there because it's worth mentioning. Alright, so with that being said, today's video is actually going to cover scary stories. And the gameplay in the background is going to be some Team Fortress 2 Man vs. Machine, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm playing as the Heavy. And I got a complaint about the content that I'm using, as in I'm not using any more variety. I'm starting to use the same kind of recycled content when it comes to my gameplay videos, and I do apologize. I do love Team Fortress 2, and even I can admit that the gameplay is getting a little bit bland because I'm not really putting a lot of effort into it. So from here on out, I do promise I'm going to start using a little bit more variety when it comes to using gameplay footage and stuff. So wait for it. However, now that we are on the topic of apologizing, I do want to apologize for my commitment of videos. I know I said I would at least post 2 to 3 videos a week, even if I didn't post that much. So again, I apologize for my garbage commitment to the channel. Midterms was last week, so I kind of got a little bit behind, and because I was kind of like on that slacking off, or at least that me trying to relax schedule, I just didn't want to post anything, so it's more of me just being a shithead. Alright, now it's time to move into the Golden Hour. Man, I swear I need a theme whenever I start the actual discussion. So I don't know if you guys remember, but during the 90s, there was a book that was introduced, and I don't know if it was focused towards like young teens or children, or like parents to read it to children just to give them a kick out of a scary story, but I know it was really big where I was from, and I know that my brothers and I used to enjoy reading them. The books were called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. A lot of my friends used to read them too. We used to sit at lunch kind of just like sharing the story and some of the tales that were told. One of the biggest stories that I remember sharing with my friends back then was Harold. Harold was a really creepy story, and I don't know what book it was, but all I know is that it was like a demented freaking scarecrow that had demonic powers, because eventually it came back to kill the kids who were like messing with it and poking fun of Harold the scarecrow. And it's weird because those scary stories were so fascinating to me when I was a kid. It was early 2000s. The book did come out in the 90s, but we didn't really read it until it was 2000s because we kind of grew up, and my mother wanted us to start reading more because we didn't really read. We played more Nintendo than anything, and my mom was like, "No, you guys got to start reading. You got to start getting smart." And then she took us to the library, and one of the books that grabbed my brother's attention was the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And after we started reading them, we wanted more out of it, so we eventually found that they had a audio disc which you put in, and some guys talking and reading you the stories, and he had a creepy voice, partly because he had such an assertive voice and you would hear him like talking to you as if he was talking to you in person, and the other part was like he would follow the story. Whenever the story had like a climax or an arc or something, he would like go towards it, and it would feel so dramatical and so emotional that you would kind of feel it. And that was one of the coolest things that I remember. So eventually we kind of grew into like this whole where we would listen to scary stories and then kind of make it like a thing. It grew to the point where we would wait until it was dark outside, and then we would go to our basement, which was scary as shit, and we would make like a fort out of couch pillows, because who didn't do that as a kid, right? And then we would kind of go under there, play the audio disc, and just scare the shit out of ourselves. And it was such a great thing. And it's weird because we used to like getting scared, but then we couldn't sleep at night. So our parents would eventually tell us to stop listening to scary stories if you can't sleep. But we never listened. We always did it, and it was so great. See, those are the kind of memories that just stick with you forever. But why am I really even talking about this? I mean, it is golden hour, so like it's me talking about random stuff. But it came to my attention that just recently I had the same feeling as when I had when I was a kid. And it's funny because, 19 years old and I'm here doing the same thing I did when I was, like 10 years old. And what that is essentially finding the same muse that we had when we were kids and bringing it back to life. So my brother found this guy, I think he's known him for a while, and he subscribed to him. His name's Mr. Creepypasta. See, I didn't know what the hell creepypastas were. I recently got into them, and I realized that it's the same thing as when I was a kid. We're scaring the shit out of ourselves, and instead of going in our tents, we still just sit there and we make the rooms dark, or at least we wait until it's night outside, and we just sit there listening to some really demented stories. And it's cool because, we can't get scared at like scary stories that tell in the dark. So these ones are really creepy, and because he plays them on like videos and he puts like pictures and stuff, we also found some other guys who do it, and they actually put some like videos. And of course it's not real, there are a lot of fairy tales, some of them are like urban legends, but the videos that go with them are so damn terrifying that it doesn't let you sleep for like a freaking day. You kind of stay up that day. And my brother, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy to scare. I mean, he's not the kind who would easily get scared. I mean, I've tried to scare him a lot of times, and usually it backfires because he ends up scaring the shit out of me. I'm pretty easy to scare, but this guy, he told me that he was at work trying to listen to a scary story, and he had his time off and stuff, so, he wasn't slacking off. But he was listening to the story, and as soon as a part that came up in that story, he jumped and fucking threw everything. And just me picturing that in my head, I'm like, damn, that's funny because you can't get scared that easily. But him? Man. So I don't know when, but that story, me and him are going to plan on listening to it. It's called The Devil's Game. I'm not sure if I want to listen to it yet because it's kind of like, I'm not sure about those kind of stories. But just because it scared the shit out of him, I want to see how much it's going to scare me. So if anyone is interested in hearing some scary stories, these are a great time. I can attest to some stories that, scare the crap out of me. I'll put those in the description because I can't remember one of the name, but I do know that it's something like Circle You. I don't think that's the actual name, but that's, what it's based on. And the other one is Gateway of the Mind. That one is creepy because they put a video while playing the audio, as in the person talking about the story. I'm not going to spoil it to what any of them are, but they're really good. Both of them are my favorite, my top 10 creepypastas. Those are just the ones that I enjoy, and I'll go back to listen just to get a good fright. But that's the end of this video. Be sure to smack up the like button and subscribe if you want to see more nonsense. And as always, stay gold.